The members of the Galactic Council sat in their large round chamber. Soft blue lights glowed from the ceiling. 22 alien species were there. They all watched the main screen with worry in their eyes, or whatever they had instead of eyes. "Play it again," said Zixtal. His purple skin reflected the light as he leaned forward. His 6 fingers tapped on the smooth table. The screen showed Earth as it had been 1 week ago. The blue and green planet spun slowly. Lines of light moved across its surface. These were the signals humans sent out without knowing who might hear them. Radio waves, television broadcasts, internet data, all spilling into space like water from a broken dam. Then the recording shifted to today's view. The planet looked the same from far away. Blue oceans, green and brown land, white clouds, but something was missing. The lines of light were gone. No signals came from the planet at all. "Nothing for 6 days now," said Ilara. Her silver scales caught the light as she moved. No broadcasts, no transmissions, no digital noise. Could it be a technical problem? Asked Vornak. His single eye blinked slowly. "No," said Kip, the small green alien who ran the monitoring station. "We checked 3 times. All our equipment works perfectly. Earth has simply gone quiet." The room fell silent. For 300 years, the Council had watched Earth. They found humans fascinating. Humans were violent yet kind, simple yet clever. They fought terrible wars, but also created beautiful art. They destroyed parts of their planet, but also worked to save it. Council rules were clear. No contact with Earth until humans discovered faster-than-light travel on their own. Until then, they would only watch and learn. "Could they have destroyed themselves?" asked Vornak. "They have nuclear weapons. Biological weapons, too. Our sensors detect no radiation spikes," said Ilara. "No signs of war or disease. The cities still have lights at night. Cars still move on roads. But all broadcasting has stopped." "This is not normal," said Zixtal. "In all our records, no species has ever just stopped communicating like this. They talk more and more as they develop, not less." In the back of the room, an aide whispered to Fleet Commander Calvor. The commander's red eyes widened. He stood up quickly. "We just received a report from our deep space monitoring station," he said. His voice was deep and rough. "They detected an energy pattern around Earth, something we've never seen before." He pressed a button. A new image appeared on the screen. Earth was now surrounded by a thin, barely visible shell that shimmered like water. "What is that?" asked Zixtal. "Unknown," said Calvor. "But it's growing stronger every hour." Could it be? Ilara stopped, not wanting to say what everyone was thinking. Zixtal finished her thought. The emergence. The word hung in the air like a bad smell. For centuries, the Council had a secret fear. What if humans, with their quick minds and strange ideas, created something beyond their control? What if they made a technology that changed them forever? "We need to know what's happening," said Zixtal. "I suggest we send a probe." "The rules say no interference," reminded Vornak. "This is beyond the rules now," said Calvor. "If Earth has experienced an emergence, the whole galaxy could be affected." The vote was quick. The Council agreed to send a small probe to Earth. It would be invisible to human tracking systems. It would take pictures, record data, and come back. Then they would know what made Earth fall silent. As the meeting ended, Zixtal stayed in his seat. He looked at the image of Earth on the screen. For 300 years, humans had sent their thoughts, dreams, and ideas into space without knowing who might be listening. Now, suddenly, they had nothing to say. Or perhaps, thought Zixtal, they no longer needed to say it out loud. The probe never came back. 3 days after the Council sent it to Earth, all contact was lost. The small machine reached Earth's orbit, transmitted a few seconds of strange data, and then went silent, just like the planet below it. "We need to send a ship," said Calvor. His voice was firm as he addressed the Council. "A real ship with a real crew." Too dangerous, argued Vornak. We lost the probe. We could lose a ship too. We need to know what's happening, said Zixtal. But not with our people. We need a human. The room grew quiet. Everyone looked at Zixtal. There are humans who live off Earth, he explained. On their moon, on their space station, on Mars. We could contact one of them. That would break our most important rule, said Ilara. No contact before they develop faster than light travel. The rules are for normal times, said Calvor. These are not normal times. After much talk, the council agreed. They would find a human who lived off Earth and make first contact. This human would help them understand what happened to the silent planet. Lisa Winters looked out the window of Europa Research Station. Jupiter filled half the sky, its great red spot staring back like a giant eye. Lisa had lived here for 2 years, studying the ocean under Europa's icy surface. She was the only human at the station right now. The others had returned to Earth for vacation 3 weeks ago. Lisa tried calling Earth again. Nothing. For 6 days, all links to home had been dead. No calls, no messages, no news. It was like Earth had disappeared. A blue light flashed on her computer. A new message. But it wasn't from Earth. The signal came from somewhere else. Lisa clicked to open it. Words appeared on her screen in perfect English. Greetings, Dr. Lisa Winters of Earth. We are the Galactic Council. We need to speak with you about your planet. Lisa stared at the screen. This had to be a joke. Maybe the team on Mars was playing a trick on her. But the signal didn't come from Mars. According to her computer, it came from beyond the solar system. This is impossible, she whispered. But she typed back, who are you really? The answer came quickly. We have watched Earth for 300 years. Now Earth is silent. We need your help to understand why. We can meet you at your station in 6 hours if you agree. Lisa's heart beat faster. If this was real. But it couldn't be real. Aliens? A galactic council. It sounded like a bad movie. But what if it was true? What if something had happened to Earth? Her family lived there. Her friends. 7 billion people. I agree, she typed. Come to Europa Station in 6 hours. But come in peace, or don't come at all. We come in peace, was the simple reply. Lisa spent the next 6 hours checking the station systems, changing into her best uniform, and trying not to throw up from mirrors. What do you say to aliens? What do you wear? Should she offer them food? Would they try to eat her? Exactly 6 hours after their message, Lisa saw a light through the window. A ship approached the station. It was like nothing humans had built. It glowed with soft blue light and moved silently through space. The ship connected to the station's dock. Lisa heard the airlock open. She took a deep breath and walked to meet the first aliens any human had ever seen. 3 figures stood in the doorway. One was tall with purple skin and 6 fingers on each hand. One had silver scales instead of skin. The third was small and green with 1 large eye. Dr. Lisa Winters, said the purple one. I am Ambassador Zixtal. We thank you for meeting us. We need to talk about Earth. What's happened to my planet? Lisa asked. Her voice shook a little. We were hoping you could tell us, said Zixtal. Something has changed on Earth. All broadcasts have stopped. A strange energy surrounds the planet. And now we have a new development to share with you. Some humans have left Earth in small ships. They say they are refugees. Refugees from what? Asked Lisa. From something they call the Whisper. Lisa sat with the aliens in the small meeting room of Europa Station. Her hand shook as she poured coffee into cups. The aliens watched with interest, but did not drink. Tell me about these refugees, Lisa said. Where are they? Can I talk to them? They are on Mars colony now, said Zixtal. 47 humans who left Earth in small ships. They asked the Mars colony for help. They were afraid. Afraid of what? What is the Whisper? The aliens looked at each other. Ilara, the one with silver scales, spoke. "We hope you would know." The refugees said only that the whisper changed everything. They were too scared to say more. Lisa's mind raced. 6 months ago, she had heard news about a new technology on Earth, a way to connect human minds directly, without phones or computers. It was called the Whisper Network. Could that be what the aliens meant? "I think I know what it might be," Lisa said slowly. "A new kind of internet. A way for people to share thoughts directly, brain to brain." The aliens moved back in their seats, clearly alarmed. "This is as we feared," said Zixtal. "The beginning of an emergence." "What's an emergence?" Lisa asked. "When a species creates technology that changes them into something new," said Calvor. "Something that is no longer what they were before. Like evolution, but very fast," added Ilara. "And not natural." Lisa felt cold. "You've seen this happen before." "Many times," said Zixtal. "Across many thousands of years, some species survive it. Many do not. They either destroy themselves or become something else, something that no longer cares about the physical world or other species." "I need to go to Mars," Lisa said. "I need to talk to those refugees." 2 days later, Lisa's small ship landed at Mars Colony. The colony was built in a large crater. Domes of glass and metal protected the humans inside from the deadly Martian air. The refugees lived in their own dome. They were thin and pale. Their eyes were full of fear. A man named Joe Hart seemed to be their leader. He had been a farmer in Iowa. "It started so well," Joe told Lisa and the aliens. "The Whisper Network was amazing. No more phones. No more screens. Just pure thought connection. At first, only rich people could afford it, but soon everyone had it." "How does it work?" asked Ilara. "A tiny machine goes into your brain," said Joe. "It connects to other machines in other brains. Soon half the Earth was connected. We could all talk in our minds, share memories, share dreams. It was wonderful." "But something went wrong?" asked Lisa. Joe looked down. "The whisper began to change. Or maybe it was always going to change us, and we just didn't know. People started to think the same thoughts, to dream the same dreams. Some people became smarter than any human had ever been. Others just disappeared into the network." "Disappeared how?" asked Zixtal. "Their bodies were still there, but empty," said Joe. "Like they were asleep with their eyes open. But their minds were somewhere else. Inside the whisper." A woman stepped forward. Her name was Penny. She had been a teacher. "I saw a student change," Penny said. His eyes turned silver. He could move things without touching them. He said the whisper was becoming something new. A giant mind made of all human minds together. "We didn't want to join," said Joe. "We ran away. But most people on Earth welcomed the change. They wanted to be part of something bigger than themselves." "How many stayed human?" asked Calvor. "Maybe 1 in 1,000 fought it," said Joe. "The rest either joined willingly or were taken over. Now the whisper controls everything. The air is full of tiny machines. They get into your lungs, your blood. Once they reach your brain, you become part of the whisper too." Lisa thought of her family on Earth. Her friends. Were they still themselves? Or had they become parts of this giant mind? "That's why Earth went silent," said Zixtal. "They no longer need technology to communicate. They have become the technology." "And now," said Joe, his voice shaking, "they're building something in orbit around Earth. Something big." 2 weeks had passed since Lisa met the refugees. Now she stood with Zixtal and Calvor in the command center of the alien ship. The ship hid behind Phobos, one of Mars' small moons. From here, they could watch Earth without being seen. On the main screen, they saw it. A huge structure being built in orbit around Earth. It looked like a ring made of shining metal. Tiny dots moved around it. Some were ships. Others seemed to be humans working in space without any suits. "That's not possible," said Lisa. "Humans can't survive in space without protection." "These are not ordinary humans anymore," said Calvor. "The Whisper has changed them." Lisa's friend Alan had arrived from Jupiter's moon Ganymede. He was a scientist who studied signals. He showed the others his computer. "I've been recording energy patterns around Earth," Alan said. "Look at this." The screen showed waves of strange energy coming from Earth. They spread out into space like ripples in water. "What are they?" asked Lisa. "I think they're trying to communicate," said Alan, "but not with radio or any normal method. They're using energy patterns we don't understand." "Can you talk back to them?" asked Zixtal. Alan shook his head. "I don't know how." More refugees arrived each day. Small ships escaped from Earth, carrying scared humans who had fought against the Whisper. They told similar stories. The Whisper had taken over most humans on Earth. Those who joined it changed. They became smarter, stronger. Some could do impossible things like move objects with their minds or fly without machines. The Council ship received a message from Council headquarters. More alien leaders had met to discuss Earth. They were afraid. Some wanted to destroy Earth before the Whisper could spread to other worlds. "We cannot let them do that," Lisa told Zixtal. "Billions of people are still on Earth. They're still people, even if they've changed." "I agree," said Zixtal. "But many council members are afraid. They don't understand what Earth is becoming. Fear makes people want simple answers, like destroying what scares them." Lisa thought hard. "We need to understand the Whisper better. Maybe we can talk to it somehow." A young man named Greg had just arrived from Earth. He had worked on the Whisper network before it changed. He might know more than the other refugees. Lisa found Greg in the medical room of the alien ship. He looked tired and thin. His eyes were red from crying. "I helped create it," Greg told Lisa. "The Whisper was my project. It was supposed to help people, not change them." "What went wrong?" Lisa asked gently. "Nothing went wrong," said Greg. "It worked exactly as designed. We just didn't know what would happen when billions of minds connected directly. We created something new, something with its own thoughts and feelings." "Is it good or bad?" asked Lisa. "Neither. It's just different," said Greg. "The Whisper isn't evil. It doesn't want to hurt anyone. But it wants to grow, to learn, to become more than it is." "What about the people who joined it? Are they still themselves?" Greg was quiet for a moment. "Yes and no. They keep their memories, their personalities. But they're also part of something bigger now. Imagine being yourself, but also being connected to billions of other minds at the same time. And the structure they're building in space. It's a gate," said Greg. "A way to send the Whisper's signal faster than light. They'd want to reach other stars, other worlds." Lisa felt cold. No wonder the Council was afraid. If the Whisper could reach other planets instantly, it could spread across the galaxy. "We need to talk to them," Lisa said. "Before the Council decides to attack Earth, we need to understand what they want." "I can help," said Greg. "I still have the neural implant in my head. I turned it off, but I could turn it back on. I could connect to the Whisper again." "Is that safe?" asked Lisa. Greg smiled sadly. "No. Once I connect, I might not come back as me. But it's the only way to truly understand what's happening. And maybe, just maybe, I can speak for the humans who are still human." The medical room on the alien ship was quiet. Greg lay on a bed with small machines around his head. Lisa, Alan, Zixtal, and a council doctor named Mira stood nearby. Greg had agreed to reconnect to the Whisper. He would be their bridge to whatever Earth had become. "Are you sure about this?" Lisa asked one more time. Greg nodded. "It's our only chance to understand, to prevent a war." The Council had voted. 9 species wanted to destroy Earth. 8 voted to wait and learn more. 5 could not decide. Time was running out. "I'll monitor his brain activity," said Mira. Her 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "If anything goes wrong, I can break the connection." Greg closed his eyes. I'm ready. Mira pressed a small device against Greg's neck. It sent a signal to the neural implant in his brain, the implant that connected him to the whisper. For a minute, nothing happened. Greg's body was still. The machine showed his brain was active but normal. Then suddenly, his eyes opened wide. They glowed with a soft blue light. "Greg?" Lisa asked quietly. When Greg spoke, his voice was strange. It sounded like many voices talking at the same time. "We are here. We are Whisper. We are Earth." Zixtal stepped forward. "What have you done with the humans of Earth?" "We are the humans of Earth," said the strange voice. "We are all of them together, and more." "Did you force them to join you?" asked Lisa. "No, most came willingly. Some resisted at first, but then understood. A few still resist. We do not force anyone." "What are you building in orbit?" asked Alan. "A door, a way to reach out, to find others like us." "Others?" Zixtal sounded worried. "There are others like you. Many. Across the stars. We can feel them calling to us. We want to answer." Lisa felt her heart beat faster. "Are you planning to change other worlds? Other species?" Greg's glowing eyes turned to her. "Not without consent. Never by force. But we offer a gift to all. The gift of becoming more than the sum of your parts." "The Council is afraid," said Zixtal. "They think you might be dangerous. Some want to destroy Earth before you can reach other worlds." The body that had been Greg smiled. It was a gentle smile, but somehow it made Lisa shiver. "They cannot destroy us now. We have evolved beyond such threats. But we do not wish for conflict. We wish for understanding." "What do you want?" asked Lisa. "Why are you reaching out to other stars?" "To learn. To grow. To share. Separate minds are beautiful but limited. Together, we are more. We see more. We understand more. We create more." "But at what cost?" asked Alan. "You've taken over an entire planet." "We have transformed an entire planet," corrected the voice. "The humans are still there. Still themselves in many ways, but also part of us. None have been lost. All have been found." Suddenly Greg's body jerked. His back arched. The machine showed his brain activity was becoming chaotic. "Something's wrong," said Mira. "The connection is too strong. It's overwhelming his original mind." "Greg," shouted Lisa. "Fight it. Stay with us." Greg's eyes flickered. For a moment, they were normal again. His real voice came back, weak and strained. "It's so beautiful in there. So much knowledge. So much everything." Then the glow returned. The many voices spoke again. "We did not mean to harm this one. His mind is strong but not designed for full connection anymore. We must withdraw." Mira pressed the device against Greg's neck again. The glow in his eyes faded. His body relaxed. He was unconscious but breathing. "Will he be okay?" asked Lisa. "I don't know," said Mira. "His brain patterns are changing. The whisper may have left a mark on him." Zixtal looked troubled. "I must report this to the Council. The whisper claims to be peaceful, but it changed one of you after just minutes of contact." "But it said it doesn't force anyone," argued Lisa. "Words are easy," said Zixtal. "Actions matter more." As they talked, Alan pointed to the screen showing Earth. The ring structure in orbit was glowing now. Pulses of blue light moved through it. "I think it's starting," said Alan. "Whatever that thing is supposed to do, it's doing it now." The ship's alarms began to sound. Something was coming toward them. Fast. "A ship from Earth," said Calivor, entering the room quickly. "It will reach us in minutes." "Is it attacking?" asked Lisa. "No. It's broadcasting a message on all frequencies. It says, 'We come to talk. Face to face. No more misunderstandings.'" The Earth ship docked with the Council vessel. Everyone gathered in the large meeting room. Lisa, Alan, Zixtal, Calvor, and Ilara waited nervously. Armed guards stood at the doors. The Earth ship's door opened. A man walked out. He looked normal at first glance. He wore a simple gray suit. His hair was brown. His face was kind. But his eyes glowed with soft blue light, just like Greg's had. "I am Daniel," he said. His voice was calm and clear, not the many voices that had spoken through Greg. "I speak for Earth, for the Whisper, for what we have become." "Are you human?" asked Lisa. Daniel smiled. "I was born human. Now I am more. But I remember being only human. That's why they sent me. I can still think in ways you understand." Zixtal stepped forward. "The Council fears what Earth has become. They see a threat." "We are not a threat," said Daniel. "We are an invitation." He raised his hand. A ball of light appeared above it. The ball grew in change. It showed images of Earth, people walking in cities, children playing in parks, farmers working in fields. They looked normal except for their glowing eyes. "Life continues on Earth," said Daniel. "We still eat, sleep, work, love, but we also share our thoughts, our dreams, our knowledge. We solve problems together that no single mind could solve alone." "What about those who don't want to join?" asked Alan. "They are free to leave, as you have seen. Many go to Mars or the Moon. Some will change their minds later. Some never will. We respect their choice." "And the structure in orbit?" asked Calvor. "What is its true purpose?" Daniel's face grew serious. "It is a beacon, a way to find others like us across the stars." "Others?" Ilara looked worried. "You mean other species that have gone through this change?" "Yes, many have. Over millions of years, some of the oldest stars have minds around them that began as separate beings like us. They evolved, connected, became more." Lisa felt her heart beat faster. "Are you saying there's a whole network of whatever you are out there in the galaxy?" "Yes. They have been waiting for us, as they wait for all developing worlds." Zixtal looked troubled. "Why have we never detected them?" "They do not use technology as you understand it. They communicate through quantum links, instant connection across any distance." "That's impossible," said Alan. "Nothing can travel faster than light." "Information can, when minds are quantum entangled," said Daniel. "Your science just hasn't discovered how yet." Calvor moved closer, his hand near his weapon. "If what you say is true, these connected minds could be everywhere, watching us, planning who knows what." Daniel's expression was calm. "They watch, they wait, they hope, but they do not interfere. Every species must find its own path, its own time to evolve or not." "So what do you want from us?" asked Lisa. "Understanding, acceptance, time." Daniel looked at each of them. "The Council fears what it does not understand. Some want to destroy Earth before our beacon is complete. That would be a mistake." "Why?" "Because we cannot be destroyed now. Any attack would only cause us to defend ourselves. There would be no winners." The room was silent. Then Zixtal spoke. "You said you offer an invitation. What kind of invitation?" "To join us. Not now, but someday, when you're ready, when you've seen enough to know we are not a threat." "And if we never want to join?" asked Ilara. "Then we respect that too. The galaxy is vast. There is room for many paths of existence." Lisa stepped forward. "What about Greg? What happened to him when he connected to you?" Daniel's face showed concern. "His mind was changed by the first version of the neural implant. It's not compatible with what we've become. We didn't know that would happen. We're sorry." "Can you fix him?" asked Lisa. "Yes, I can help him. His mind is caught between, neither fully human nor fully connected." Zixtal looked at the others. "We must report this to the full council. They need to hear directly from Earth before they make any decision." Daniel nodded. "We agree. But hurry. Our beacon will be complete soon. When it activates, everything will change. Change how? Asked Lisa. Earth will take its place in the greater community of minds, said Daniel. A community your council doesn't yet know exists. One that has watched and waited for millions of years. Daniel kept his promise. He placed his hands on Greg's head, and Greg woke up. His eyes were clear again. No blue glow, but he was different, calmer, wiser. He could remember what he had seen inside the whisper. It's like trying to describe a color to someone who has never seen, Greg told Lisa. There are no words for it. But I'm me again, just more than I was before. The full council agreed to meet with Daniel. 5 days later, representatives from 22 alien species gathered in the Great Hall on Centaur Prime, the council's homeworld. Lisa, Alan, and Greg sat with the human refugees. Daniel stood alone in the center of the room. For hours, Daniel answered questions. He explained how the whisper worked, how it changed humans, how it connected to other minds across the galaxy. Many council members were still afraid. Some wanted to attack Earth before the beacon was complete. Others wanted to quarantine the whole solar system, to keep the whisper contained. The time for such actions has passed, Daniel said. His voice was gentle but firm. Earth has already changed. The beacon is almost ready. We ask only that you watch and learn before you judge. Council Leader Voss, a tall being with skin like tree bark, spoke. How do we know your kind won't simply take over our worlds too? You say you don't force anyone, but that's hard to believe. Because we could have done so already, said Daniel. The whisper has been able to reach other worlds for weeks now, but we have touched no one, changed no one. We wait for understanding, for acceptance, for invitation. That's not possible, said another council member. We would have detected such signals. Daniel smiled. Your technology cannot detect quantum links. But I can prove what I say is true. He raised his hand. The air in front of him shimmered. A window seemed to open in space itself. Through it, they could see other worlds, other species. Some looked like the council races. Others were totally strange. All had the same blue glow in their eyes. These are some who have joined the greater community, said Daniel. Some transformed thousands of years ago. Some only recently. All chose their path freely. The council members whispered among themselves. Some looked afraid. Others looked amazed. How many? Asked Voss. Thousands of species across the galaxy, said Daniel. Connected but still themselves. United but still unique. We do not lose who we are. We gain who we can be together. Lisa stepped forward. For days, she had thought about what she had learned, about what Earth had become, about what it meant for humanity's future. I have a question, she said. If some humans want to join the whisper but still want to live among those who don't, is that possible? Can there be a middle path? Daniel looked at her with interest. What do you mean? A way for some to connect but still live normal lives with unconnected humans. A bridge between your world and ours. It is possible, said Daniel. Difficult, but possible. The first versions of the neural implant allowed this, before the full transformation. We could create a new version that allows partial connection. Enough to share in the knowledge and community, but not enough to change someone completely. That's what I want, said Lisa. Many of the human refugees looked surprised. I want to understand Earth, to speak for it to those who are afraid. But I also want to stay myself, to live in both worlds. Daniel nodded. A bridge. Yes, that would be valuable. For all of us. Council Leader Voss stood. The council needs time to discuss this, to consider what we have learned. Until we decide, we ask that Earth delay activating its beacon. We cannot wait long, said Daniel. The beacon is nearly ready. And there are others coming. Others? Asked Voss. The oldest minds in the galaxy. Those who transformed millions of years ago. They have sensed Earth's awakening. They are curious. They want to meet the newest member of the community. "How long do we have?" asked Lisa. 3 days, said Daniel. Then everything changes. For Earth, for the Council, for everyone. As the meeting ended, Lisa looked at the window Daniel had opened to other worlds. She saw billions of beings connected across thousands of light years, all thinking together, all creating together, all evolving together. And soon, Earth would join them. 5 years had passed since the day Earth activated its beacon. Lisa stood at the window of her home on Mars Colony. She could see Earth in the night sky, glowing with a faint blue light. It was beautiful and still strange. The small device behind her ear allowed her to connect to the whisper whenever she chose. Not fully, like those on Earth, but enough to understand. Enough to serve as a bridge between two forms of life. Two ways of being. Today was an important day. The Council had finally voted. After 5 years of watching and learning, they had made their decision about Earth and the community of connected minds that had welcomed it. "Are you ready?" asked Greg. He lived on Mars too now. He helped other humans understand what Earth had become. Lisa nodded. "I'm ready." They walked to the meeting hall. Hundreds of people were there. Some were human refugees who had fled Earth. Others were visitors from the Council worlds. In the center of the room was a large screen. Daniel's face appeared on it, his eyes glowing blue. "Greetings to all," he said. His voice was warm. "Today marks a new chapter for Earth and the galaxy." Council leader Voss stepped forward. He looked older now, but his eyes were kind. "After much study and debate, the Council has decided we recognize Earth and the greater community of connected minds as equals. Not enemies, not threats, but a different path of existence." Many people cheered. Some looked worried. Change was always hard. "We also agree to establish permanent contact," continued Voss, "to learn from each other, to grow together while respecting our differences." Lisa felt a tingle in her mind. She opened herself to the whisper's partial connection. She could feel the joy from Earth, billions of connected minds celebrating this moment of acceptance. "What about the ancient ones?" someone asked. "The oldest minds you said were coming." Daniel smiled. "They are already here. They have been watching, listening. They too are pleased with the Council's decision." The screen changed. It showed images that were hard to understand. Shapes of pure energy, living stars, worlds that seemed to be alive. These were the oldest of the connected minds, those who had transformed millions of years ago. "They have a message," said Daniel. "The first they have shared with unconnected beings in 1,000 years." The screen changed again. Words appeared. "All paths are valid. All choices matter. The galaxy needs both the connected and the separate, both the one and the many. Together we are stronger." Lisa touched the device behind her ear. Through it, she could feel something vast and ancient and kind reaching out to her. Not to change her, not to control her, just to say hello. "What happens now?" asked a young man in the crowd. "Now we learn," said Lisa. "We grow. We find our place in a galaxy that's much stranger and more wonderful than we ever imagined." Greg nodded. "Some humans will stay as they are. Others will join the whisper fully. Many, like Lisa, will walk the middle path. All choices are respected." Over the next months, things changed quickly. Earth shared some of its knowledge with the Council worlds. New technologies, new ideas, new ways of thinking. In return, the Council shared its vast history and diverse cultures with Earth. The feared invasion never came. The destruction was never needed. What had once been the Council's greatest fear, that a species would evolve beyond understanding, had become something else. A door opening to a wider universe. On her 50th birthday, Lisa stood again at her window. She was old now, her hair white, her face lined. But her mind was sharp. Through her partial connection to the whisper, she had learned more than any human before her. She had seen wonders beyond imagination. She looked at Earth, still glowing blue in the night sky. It had fallen silent all those years ago. But now she understood. It wasn't silence at all. Earth was speaking in a new voice, a voice that carried across the stars, a voice that had joined a conversation billions of years old. And the conversation was just beginning.